Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson. A potential showdown. Shakur Stevenson's team has expressed their eagerness to face Davis, stating that they are ready to negotiate. It's a rare occasion in boxing when two incredibly gifted fighters are unbeaten, three Division I champions in their 20s, and available for matchups. This after experienced IBF lightweight champion pulled out of negotiations to face Davis in Baltimore, the popular power punchers needs a major matchup. And Stevenson of New York is now a free agent. This is a boxing's version of the lie detector test. If they don't fight, somebody is lying, the Atlas told the media. At least one preliminary conversation about the possibility of a dream match between two of the best boxers in America has been held by representatives of Stevenson and Davis. Josh Dobbin, Stevenson's sole manager, stated that the phone lines are open to discuss the financial conditions that would ultimately decide whether or not the fight takes place. Paul Malignaggi, the former welterweight champion, pleaded, "This is the real 50-50 fight. There is a split among people regarding this. This is the battle to be fought. When it comes to who needs the fight the most, Chris Algieri stated that Stevenson could have needed more after two consecutive fights in which his evasive, defensive tactics caused fans to leave early. Shakur needs all the top guys. If he can do to them what he's done to the others, he is the best in the division," Algieri said. Former welterweight champion Paul Malignaggi implored, "This is the true 50-50 fight. People are divided down the middle on this." Top trainer Robert Garcia challenges his Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson's prediction as a fight nears. The collision course, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, have been on signs racing through the ranks, may just be ready to reach its end. The two Americans are now champions in the lightweight division, both yet to be defeated and considered to be amongst the elite in the sport of boxing. Fans have debated if the defensive skill of Stevenson can trump Tank's devastating power for some years now. World-class trainer Robert Garcia, who corners pound-for-pound star Jesse Rodriguez among others, recently told Fight Hub that he felt Davis was unbeatable at 35 pounds. "He is unbelievable, man. I think Tank at this point is unbeatable at the lightweight division against any of the world champions. I think he is the top guy right now in that division. He had a great performance, he has the timing, power, accuracy. Everything is a great man. He is a perfect fighter right now." His latest prediction on the fight, which comes just 1 month later, make it a pick and he highlights the skills of Shakur as to why. "It's a good fight, man, because Shakur fights really good on the outside, very smart. I think it will be a very difficult fight for both. Right, it's very hard to beat Shakur. There are likely many in and around the sport who are going back and forth on this one. So it's a good thing there is a huge chance of it being made." That is according to Davis' sole trainer Kenny Alves, who says the only way it does not happen is fear on Stevenson's part. According to Alves, Stevenson is a game for an epic champ versus champ duel and hopes to book it for November. However, while the sole trainer insisted that there is a massive chance for such a fight to materialize, fans should note that as of now, Stevenson is a free agent after he turned down a fresh $18 million 6-fight contract from Bob Arum's top-ranked promotions. Moreover, multiple sources, including Boxing Sen, have reportedly that the representatives of Davis and Stevenson's have held at least one preliminary discussion on the topic of a dream fight between the two unbeaten champions. Shakur has two exciting performances, at least back-to-back performances, Carrington said. In his last fight against Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson admitted that there was some work to be done in training to improve his performance. During the in-ring interview after the win, he said he needed to work on cutting the distance in the ring to inflict damage on his opponent. I have to cut the ring a little more because my opponent was going one way and then the other, so I have to go back to the gym and work on cutting the ring, Stevenson said. It seems that to get the best out of Stevenson, a defensive counter-puncher, he needs an opponent who is willing to throw punches and make him come out of his shell. Although Davis looks like an ideal candidate for that job, Stevenson needs to be signed with a promotional first. Moreover, he needs to deliver some excitement in his upcoming fights for Davis to consider him a significant pay-per-view draw. As things stand, the words are compounding for Shakur, as the two big promoters have already dropped out of the race to sign him. Top Rank and Golden Boy promotions are a no-go. Shakur Stevenson is currently a free agent. Just recently, he turned down a fresh $18 million 6-fight contract from his previous employer, Top Rank. The company's head Bob Arum had no hard feelings toward him, stating that he was entitled to look for a better deal elsewhere. He will not be looking to increase the stakes of the offer, and thus he pursued ends. Reportedly, Shakur's team also had meetings with the Golden Boy promotions, but it didn't materialize into an exciting fight contract. Dropping out of the race to sign him, Oscar de la Hoya commented, "Shakur Stevenson, you are a free agent, you are a great fighter and a great talent, but not for me. I believe that when somebody says you are not fighting for the public, I cannot promote." Now Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing seems to be in the pole position to sign him. The British promoter believes he could do wonders with Stevenson and alleged that his previous promoter Bob Arum had done an awful job promoting him. Who do you think Shakur Stevenson should fight next? Will Matchroom Boxing eventually sign Shakur Stevenson for a Gervonta Davis fight? Let us know in the comment section below. Gervonta Davis camp targets Shakur Stevenson for a November bout. Gervonta Davis' assistant coach Kenny Ellis has expressed interest in WBC lightweight champ Shakur Stevenson being Tank's next opponent in November. The likely idea behind WBA lightweight champ Gervonta Davis fighting Shakur now is to make the match before the New Jersey native's popularity drops any lower than it always has. It's a race against time. If Tank's team is unsure whether Shakur can turn things around after consecutive poor performances against Teofimo Lopez and Edwin De Los Santos, it's important that they find him now before his value plummets further. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.